everybody, again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Meliki Mwaka, Feliz Navidad, Kuna Matata. And like I said, it's me, Isabel Marie, and I'm shooting my holiday series, my pre-holiday series. This is the beginning of December, and I'm going to go ahead and make another one where I'm going to do my makeup, which, of course, for the girls out there, it's my little holly vines and my little makeup and stuff. And I promised you guys I was going to record it, but this is like just the pre-makeup. Is nothing like what I'm going to be doing. I didn't have time to do the whole, my whole idea for my face. I kind of don't plan it, it just happens, and I know that this wasn't planned either, so it kind of just happened. Anyways, guys, the reason for this video right now is I wanted to make a video on what I tell people is perception. A lot of people go out there and they think that they have to have the perfect videos and the perfect people have to say the perfect story, you know, in business and in their personal life. They think that they have to go and live in this, you know, by this rule book that people make for, you know, other people, and yet those things don't exist, guys. It's all about perception. You know, to some people, they might see my videos and like, oh, she's crazy, I hate her eyeshadow, or oh my god, she has a tongue ring, how dare her. But then other people are going to be like, oh my god, I really love it, and connect with it. It's just, you know, the way you see things. So a lot of people go out there and they, you know, like I said, they have this stigma where you have to be perfect to have business or to be successful, and that can't be further from the truth, guys. You have to be yourself. And for me, I remember, like I was going to mention in my earlier video, is that I, you know, from family in the past and stuff, to be considered a good mom, I couldn't dress, you know, attractive. To be considered a good mom, I had to have a regular job, and I couldn't work from home. And, you know, I was scrutinized a lot by my own family because they just didn't understand me, and they just did not let me be who I needed to be, you know, and accept me for the person that I am. And here, some people might tell me, you know, I remember when I was younger, I'd seen all my aunts or seen my mom and everybody obsess about their weight. It was always like, you know, oh my god, you know, I need to lose weight and stuff. So I kind of grew up with that stigma. I was like, I was too big, or me having curves was a bad thing, and I had to be like thick, you know, skinny and stick skinny and go out there and really just live up to somebody else's standards, which it's just something that happens nowadays, guys. And yet, when I was 16 working my first job, I remember we were sitting there, the girls were in the break room, and, you know, we're talking about weight and stuff, and I said, yeah, oh my god, I have to lose some weight too. And my boss at the time was, you know, morbidly obese, and she looked at me, you know, and she almost started crying, and she told me, you know what I would give to look like you? You know how skinny you are to me? And it, like, just kind of, like, I'm skinny, you know, I was like, I didn't even think I was skinny. Why would you even say that? But then the alternative is, you know, on perception, it's perspective. Here I'm complaining about one thing, but to another person, there's people that are really big that wish they were my size, and then there's people out there that are starving that wish they were my size. So it's like, don't go out there and pretend to be everything to everybody. Just be yourself, and whoever that might be. Because in the long run, you know, whatever you do with business, whatever you do in your personal life, if you're trying to fit a perfect mold, not only are you going to cheat the people around you out of being the best that you can be and give to them, you're going to just end up in a situation where it's just fake, you know, and you're going to end up with people that only like you because of who they think you are, not with the way you really are. You know, I just went to lunch, you know, right now with a friend, and people were staring at me and stuff, and some people looked at me like, that was really cool, and they would say like, oh my god, this little boy was like, you're so pretty. And then there's people look at me like, oh my god, what was she thinking, you know? And I'm like, oh, I just, you know, I'm gonna play. No, I didn't tell them that, but I didn't say anything, and I loved it because this is just who I am. And there was a point in time where I used to care about what a lot of people said, you know, my family and friends and stuff, and all I did was make me more miserable, and it didn't ever accomplish anything. And now that I'm happy and I'm bubbly everywhere I go, it's like, you only live once, guys. Why not go out there and be creative, be, you know, bubbly, be who you are, and you know, be passionate in life, because it's a blessing when you're able to be yourself and not have to hide behind a perfect image, guys. You know, for those who don't know my story, I've been on welfare, I've been in the unemployment lines, I've gone and, you know, got kicked out when I was 16, excuse me. I had a miscarriage, I've been through, you know, like I said, a physically abusive relationship with my son's father. I've been, you know, in so many hard situations, but there's a lot of great things that I've done in my life too, you know, and people make it, you know, they try to get the idea that your circumstance has a lot to do with who you are. But guys, you can't let your circumstances define who you are. because you are who you are regardless. I've had people hurt me more than anybody else, physically, mentally, emotionally, but just because they've done it to me doesn't mean I have the right to go do it to them. I choose not to be that person, you know, because I don't want people to sit there and say bad things about me. If I feel ill about somebody and I don't like the way they make me feel, I don't want that, you know, to resonate with somebody else when they think of me. I want them to be like, wow, she was an awesome person, you know, she gives a lot of herself to everybody, you know, because she loves life. And that is what I tell people, is just don't let your circumstances define who you are. You get to choose who you want to be every single day. You know, even if the circumstances are really shitty, you know, somebody's like, well, if somebody cuts you off and isn't that guy a, you know, a jerk, and don't you, you know, get mad? And I'm like, no, because who am I to say that he wasn't on his way to the hospital to say goodbye to his dying mother? You know, I can't judge people, and I can't assume that they're just being a jerk. You know, everybody has their bad days and stuff and their bad moments, but two wrongs don't make a right, and me going out there and like, oh, you a jerk, and flipping them off isn't going to make anything better. So with that, guys, if you want to know, you know, how to open your eyes, how to become alive, how to, you know, do business the correct way, how to do your makeup, or whatever reason you're on this video, there are no coincidences. If you just want to know how to become passionate and be who you are and connect with your inner spirit, find me. Let's become friends. Let's become, you know, business buddies. Let's share ideas, share creativity. Let's just go out there and make, you know, better choices and help teach and inspire people to do the same. You can find me at myspace.com/Miss_Izzy, ISSY, or you can find me at youtube.com/quick, QUIKWITTEDWOMAN. That's QUIK, no C in quick. Or you can just email me directly at Isabel Marie, ISABELMARIE. The number 13 is 13@gmail.com. Happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays. You guys have a great day. Go check out my other holiday videos. I have some really cool projects for you guys to do, and I enjoy being here for you guys. Don't leave any negative comments. I'm not here to collect comments and, you know, try to get 1,000 ratings just because, you know, I do something scandalous. It's not me. Guys, God bless you. Happy holidays and Hakuna Matata. Bye-bye.